Hey guys, Steve Zonardo here with Remax West Zonardo Associates. Going into 2019, I wanted to do something different, and once a month I'm going to pick an investment property and basically break it down and to see if it's going to be feasible for you as an investor. And basically everything I'm picking is something that we can either purchase or replicate in the future, and to kind of give you an idea of how I would pick properties or something I would be looking into. And so here it is. And again, this is a blank screen. If I'm pointing in the wrong direction, blame my video guy Chris. So we'll start with the property here. It's basically a duplex located in Barrie. So it's a bungalow style duplex, meaning that there's a main floor unit and then a lower unit. So the upper unit will fetch about $1,500 per month in rent, and the lower unit will do about $1,300 per month in rent. And so basically it still has the utilities as one, so you'd have to split it between tenants. So ultimately, for example, let's say the 70% on the upper and 30% on the lower. And again, based on square footage, you can maybe fine tweak this a little bit further. But the important thing is you're not paying for the utilities. The tenants will be at that current rate. So let's say it's $2,800 per month in rent. And if you look at it, it's a 50-foot by 110-foot lot. And where it's located, and again, you have in real estate, you got to start somewhere. So this may be a good starting point for anybody that wants to joint venture with siblings, family, friends, and create a partnership between people at work. Just kind of everyone put money in. Even if you split this in 3 parts, 33% each partner, ultimately you have a piece of real estate that you have, and ultimately you can start leveraging the property later on in life, or later on in the process. Let's say 3 to 5 years, you can leverage the property, pull out another $100,000 in equity, and put it into another property as a down payment. And again, this is how you start building your wealth. This is a snowball effect. So this could be ultimately the start to your future retirement and wealth. And where it's located, I think if I was here, I'd be focused on purchasing this, getting it running as a business, and then focusing on the neighbors. I would want to assemble at least 3 to 4 properties in a row here, and similar to what I did in Allison, where I assembled 3 properties in a row, and I got 150 feet wide, where I can build 12 townhouses as of now. So do something like that. So you can start here, and I always say put a pick into something, and this could be your starting point for your wealth and retirement. And okay, let's get into financials here. So financials, let's just say we purchased it for $515,000. We can get it less, I think maybe even low 500 or even 500 itself. And the lower we go, your cap rate will be better, and naturally your cap rate will be better. But let's just say we're going to buy it at $515,000. Your down payment will be 20% if it's a second property, so that'll be $103,000. If you're a first-time buyer, you have an option to put less than 20%. That's totally up to you. If I were buying this as an investment, I'd want to put more, like around that 20% mark. It's just a good margin to work with. And let's look at your rent. The realtor posted $27.95. I'm just going to go with this number. I feel we can get about $5 more, and just based on what's been rented in the market. So let's just base it off his number. So rent per year is basically $33,540. That's the income of the property. And your mortgage amount, let's say on a 3.8% fix for 30 years. And again, in the next 3 to 6 months, we'll see interest rates coming down just a little bit, I would imagine. So we're just basing it on today's mark. So we're at January 9th. So ultimately, we're going to base it on Jan 9th at 3.8% for 5 years. So look at the interest. And I think we got to always split this up, because people think that they're paying one payment and it's lost money. So your interest is $1,294 per month, and your principal $618 per month. So principal meaning that's your equity jar getting filled up with money. Even though you can't see it tangibly, you can withdraw it, but in a later date when you leverage the property, that's all putting money back into the property where you can pull it out and put it somewhere else after. And you don't have to snowball effect and purchase another property. Let's just say you bought this for the sake of your kids' university. Let's say in 15 years, 15, 20 years, your kids are going to university, if I don't know your age group, and now you need, schools, what, $30,000 to $50,000 depending on what they take, could be even $100,000 if it's the lawyer. So yeah, you can leverage the property and pay for universities, or pay for some big expenditure coming in the future. Again, it's a big piggy bank in a sense. And people say money doesn't grow on trees. It does grow on trees. It does. As long as you plant them, something similar to a real estate property like this, where it's something that's working for you rather than you working for it. So it just sits there and it's constantly just compounding. It's almost like a cash register, keep pumping nickels and dimes and dollars into your pocket every minute, every hour. So this is what we need. The more you multiply this, naturally the more wealth you'll accumulate in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And real estate is always long term. We know this for sure. Okay, so your principal, basically going back into your pocket per year, is $7,500, $7,549.46. So this is, again, your equity jar getting filled up with $7,500 per year. And so again, just as this example, 70% your utilities will be paid by your upper unit and 30% for your lower unit. And your property tax is $3,155, which is an expense you would incur, plus the insurance. Insurance on a duplex around that, especially in something small like this, it would be $1,000 to $1,200. And so your net operating income is $27,753. Basically, it's producing almost $30,000 just sitting there. If you look at your cap rate, basically if you look at it, your cap rate is 5.38% based on these numbers. That's pretty amazing. And the lower we purchase the property, we can probably get that to a 5.5% to potentially even a 6% cap rate, which is 6% return on your money, which is awesome. And that's pretty much it. So that usually, if you get into investors, they'll just talk about the NOI and your cap rates. But I mean, ultimately, for a small guy like me, I want to know what per month. I want to break it down, what it's going to cost me per month. Am I out of pocket, or am I putting a few bucks away where I don't got to worry about this thing and I can stack enough money if there's something to go wrong in the property? It's got a separate account like a business, and I can always withdraw out of there, not affecting my family's personal savings account. So good news is, if you look at the breakdown, $31,908 is income, and subtract the expenses, of which is $27,000. That's including the mortgage. Remember, there's $7,500 in that $27,000 that's going into your pocket as equity pay down on the property. So with that said, you're $4,800 per year cash flow positive. So $400 per month. That's awesome. So basically, that house is paying you to own it, paying you $5,000 just a month, or a year, sorry, just for you to own it. And if you look at, I just kind of put here moderately, it's a 7% return for the following year, is about $36,000. And again, remember your mortgage pay down, $7,500. It's going into equity. So equity plus your passive income, you're like $12,000 to $13,000 that's coming back to you in equity. Again, equity jar. It's getting filled up with cash. So in the next 3 to 5 years, just based on let's say $12,000. You do the math. That's that's about $60,000 that you're going to have in equity that you didn't have to go out and work for physically or personally. It's something that you just put money into and sat on it. And so I'll just kind of run through some of the pictures here of the interior of the property. Actually, here, we'll go into the rentals. I'll show you the past rentals. And the first one is at least for $1,550 in February 2017. And again, this is just the upper unit. Utilities were not included. And the lower unit in the same property rented for $1,100. But I think we can get better there. We can do better with that property. I think there was something up with this property here, smaller than what we had. And so they fetched $1,100. But I think ultimately we could do $2,800 hands down, because there's one actually on the market now for $1,700 just for an upper unit. So if we went onto the market, we'd be competing against one other person for rent, which is amazing. And that's pretty much it. Guys, if you have any questions regarding this rental property, we can always, this is not the right one for you, we can always duplicate it, replicate it, move into different areas that you're more comfortable with. Maybe if it's closer to your home, we can always, like I said, replicate, duplicate it, and bring it near you. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you can always direct message me on Instagram, Facebook, or you can call me direct. I have the Doug Ford plan where you always call and I answer. So all the best, guys. Have a great day. Ciao.